My 28 MGF 31, female of 3 years, confessed to me that she only started dating me because she knew I had a massive crush on her for a very long time and her roommate convinced her to go on a single pity date with me. So I have had a mega crush on my GF ever since school days. We were in the same school, although she was one class ahead on me. Now my crush was such that everyone in my school knew, like if I was anywhere near her people would just give a mischievous smile to the both of us, if we were sitting near each other then my friends would tease me mercilessly, lol. In short, it was impossible for her to not know about it. But I never had the courage to ask her out. After school we moved to different parts of the world for our education and we were not even Facebook friends. Anyways, around 3.5 years ago I was attending the birthday celebrations of a friend when I saw her again. It was her alright, only she had become even more gorgeous and badass. The friend whose birthday I was attending was a mutual friend from our school and he of course knew about my crush. There were 2 or 3 more mutual friends there who also knew and they kept encouraging me to go and talk to her. So I finally went up to her with my heart in mouth and had a small talk with her. She of course recognized me from school and we had a nice talk and then we exchanged numbers and socials. So, with great trepidation I did some light detective work to find out if she is single or not. To my great relief, I didn't find the presence of any guys in her feed so my hopes went up a little. I reached out to her to hang out fully expecting her to turn me down but she accepted, to my GR8 surprise. So we hung out and I found out that we have a lot in common and then we decided for a next meetup. Things picked up from there and eventually we became boyfriend and girlfriend. She is everything I expected and more, plus she is also extremely happy with our relationship. We have been discussing marriage too. Anyways, last weekend we hosted her BFF and husband for a dinner at our house. The BFF is someone whom I had known during our school days and she is a good friend too. After dinner we were shooting the breeze and except me everyone was pretty drunk, as they were staying the night at our place. So we were talking when her drunk BFF suddenly turned to my GF and said, "Look how happy you are today and I feel some sense of pride after looking at you too." I smiled and said, "Well, thank you." Then she continued talking to my GF and said, "You didn't even want to give this guy a chance and only agreed when I pestered you to go on a pity date with him and your plan was to let him down easy after the said date. But instead you guys are sitting here talking about your future together and it makes me so happy that I convinced you to take a chance with him. Can you imagine if you had stuck to your original plan?" Her husband by now realized the awkwardness and led her away to sleep. I could see in my GF's face that she was visibly stressed. So we went to bed too, and when she came to bed after changing clothes she was already in tears. She took my hand in hers and said please don't mind her words. I asked her is it true and she admitted yes it was. She knew I always had a massive crush on her, so when I asked her out she didn't want to be mean by turning me down harshly. So she discussed it with her BFF, who was also her roommate at the time, about the situation. The BFF knew me so she tried to convince her to give me a chance, but the GF was not convinced. Finally the BFF asked her to go on 2 to 3 dates with me and then let me down easy and GF agreed. But then she found out we really clicked together and wanted to continue dating and well, here we are 3 years later. I hugged her and said it's okay, don't worry about it too much as it's water under the bridge. But as you guys can tell it's obviously bothering me. And I think she has started to catch on too as she has been extra attentive and loving to me since the incident. So Reddit, on the one hand I am the guy who is literally going to be engaged and eventually married to my crush, and it's even better because our relationship just how I imagined to be, only 10 times better. On the other hand it does sting a little to know that she only agreed to go out with me because she pitied me, not gonna lie. Please knock some sense into me before I self-sabotage this wonderful relationship. Thank you. Update. So I guess I should tell what happened after I made the post. In the morning the BFF apologized for her insensitive comments the night before. She said she got too drunk and that she just wanted to take credit for setting us up and playing a matchmaker, but being drunk she blurted out some unnecessary things. I said of course, you don't have to apologize as I have to thank her for me and my GF going on that first date. After the BFF left I went to my GF and shared my feelings, and asked her why was she hesitant on going out with me. She then took my hands in hers and told me that it just felt awkward to her. She had known for years that I had a crush on her, on top of that I was younger and junior than her. Her friends from back home sometimes used to tease her by taking my name, and almost all of our mutual friends know about my crush on her. So when I asked her out she felt awkward because, 1. I was more into her than she was into me even before going out on a single date, and 2. I had her on a pedestal and she was certain that reality was never going to meet my fantasy, so she wanted to avoid going through this. Also, she thought I was a weirdo, she admitted it, lol. But after her BFF went to bat for me, she decided to go out with me and then let me down easy after 2 to 3 dates. Then I asked, well, what changed after the first date, and she said, well, you didn't give off any weird vibes. Yes, you were very happy and nervous as a result, but I didn't get any creepy vibes from you. You were just a guy with a crush, with whom I had insane chemistry, even on the first date. And now, 3 years later, I think I have a bigger crush on you than you ever had on me. After having this conversation, we went out to have dinner at the same restaurant where we had our first date and even tried to order the same dishes, but alas, they had discontinued one of the dishes. Then we decided to order something entirely new, which we both had never had.